Now this is just awkward. Oh my goodness. So I'm sure we're all aware and sick and tired of all the talks of, Palestine versus, Israel, of what's going on in Gaza, Netanyahu. I think we're all tired of it because we've been hearing it ad nauseum about, the alleged genocide that's happening, and that Israel's constantly saying, hey, it's not going on. This isn't happening. We're giving aid and all of this. And what has recently happened is that two Israeli civil rights groups have come out and said, this is a genocide. They come out and said that verbatim. Not Palestinian, not American, Israeli. They've come out and admitted that that's what's going on, that they've killed, thousands of civilians. Damn. And, at this point, what do we need, right? At what point do we say, okay, enough is enough? And my personal take on it is that I don't think nothing's going to stop Israel, because Israel is backed by the U.S. And because of that, Israel has a blank check and they can do anything they want. And then when you start to look into when they make these claims, as it says in the, in the article, is that a lot of them are baseless claims, that they'll say, hey, we destroyed 20,000 Hamas soldiers. And it's like, okay, what evidence do you have for that? It's like, hey, just believe us. And that is the beauty of them being an ally, to the U.S., is that with this blank check, they can do and say anything. And then we have circular logic where where you ask them, hey, prove this. And we say, yeah, we proved it because of the, Organization B. And we're like, who is Organization B? And then you come to find out that Organization B is funded by Israel. So it's like they're confirming what they're doing is justified and what they're doing is right. And, when it comes to the Hamas soldiers, well, why are you questioning us? Why don't you question the Palestinians? Why don't you question Hamas? And what it seems to anyone with an IQ above room temperature is that they're obviously going above and beyond to really stick it to these people. That's what it seems like. It seems like they're trying to eradicate them once and for all, and they are using the October 7th as a pretext for this genocide. Damn. And given the ties to Israel with Trump, with his family and everything, it's going to be something extremely egregious for the funds to be cut off. It's going to have to be something extremely egregious for any action to take place, because anything they say is good, and anything that Palestinians or whatever say is bad. That any type of action they do is justified by trying to attack Hamas. If it's a hospital, well, Hamas is in the hospital. Well, if it's a library, well, Hamas is in the library. Well, it's a grocery store, Hamas is in the grocery store. And by that logic, all of their attacks are justified. They are, according to them, and then according to the U.S. Now, for everyone on the outside looking in, I believe even South Africa has filed that they're doing a genocide there. And the thing is okay, so what? Who's the top dog here? It's the U.S. And the U.S., if this is the buddy, right, the little brother of the U.S., who are you to say that they're doing a genocide? I say that they're not. They say that they're not. Mum's a word.
He's out of line, but he's right.
And that's unfortunately how this is going. And you're seeing, constant videos and videos and videos. And if you control the narrative, then that is the truth. Okay? That is the truth that many people will come to understand if you control the narrative, which they are doing. They're simply saying, hey, we are attacking a force that hates us because we exist. How do you fight, or how do you reason with people who just hate you for your mere existence? There is none. You have to eradicate them. You have to eradicate them and any sympathizers. And if that comes at the cost of thousands and thousands of civilians, they believe that's a justified cost. The U.S. believes that's a justified cost. Everyone else says, no, y'all need to calm down. That's a bit extreme. That is, that's genocidal. I don't see anything changing. Okay, so even with the Israeli, group coming out and saying, hey, no, this is a genocide, this is what's going on, it's unjustified, I don't see that happening, because you're not going to get Trump to do anything. You're not going to get Vance to do anything. You're not going to get anyone in the U.S. to do anything. So this is going to continue until, I guess, the rest of the country, the rest of the world says no. It's unfortunate, but I want people to understand this is what happens when you have the money, when you have the capital, and you have the narrative. This is what you get to do, whatever you want, and nobody can say anything. Because one thing they want to say is that they gave, tons and tons in aid. But it's like, what's the point of giving tons and tons of aid if you have, Israelis who are protesting that aid, who are trying to block that aid? and then they're saying that, oh, Hamas is taking the aid. So until you're actually on the ground, you truly don't know what really are the dynamics when it comes to aid, when it comes to this. All you know is that there are bodies. That's all you see. That's all you see, that there are bodies. And Israel will always say, hey, those bodies are justified because those are terrorists. But as I've said before, dead men tell no tales. So how do you know that they're terrorists? You ask Israel, Israel's going to say, yeah, that was a terrorist. Absolutely. All of them in that attack were terrorists. It just is what it is. And anyone who happens to fall from this attack, well, at least we got the terrorists, though. At least we got the terrorists. And it seems to be, it's just going to be a never-ending war, because if your family was to be, get yeeted due to an attack where they're trying to get a terrorist, and your family is innocent, well, then I would think that it would, cause you to be, radicalized. That's what I would think. And the only thing is that your family is no longer here. Your child is no longer here, and the person who made that possible is Israel. So naturally, it becomes a never-ending conflict. That's what it seems to be. And I would think that's exactly what some in power want. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think, whether or not you agree that, hey, Israel's got to destroy the terrorists at all costs, okay? Because they're a danger to not only us, but they're a danger to you guys in the U.S. Or if you can't believe, I hear you. But the problem is when everyone's a terrorist, no one is, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Everyone is a terrorist in their eyes. And anyone who falls from them trying to get an attack is just, it's a casualty. It is what it is. And it comes to a point in time where it's like, okay, you're not really, you're kind of being a little reckless. That's what it seems to be. You're being a little reckless. And because no one has, taken the chain and yanked it on you, you're wilding out, bro. That's what's happening. Anyways. If you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, Disagreement Day. Call in, we do get out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. And subscribe. And that fun stuff. So next time, guys, be amazing. You get to do whatever you want.